Hello, welcome to this, my last match of the season for Dominion League, season 43. Here playing Singletee. They've only played one match so far. Obviously, they're a strong player in C Division. I got the 5-2. There's a cultist, so we're going to go ahead and click on that cultist and see where we go from there. Not super excited about cultist, but that is what it is. With 3, I can get a catapult potentially, or like an encampment, which lets me play more cultists quickly. The catapult attack's going to be annoying. It helps me thin down. If they don't hit 5 in their first shuffle, it might even prevent them from hitting 5. If they open actually they are going to hit 5 because of Mule. Oh no, they hit 4-4. Got the pageant. Yeah. So they will have 5 now. At the end of your buy phase, pay 1 for 1 coffer. Yeah, that's nice. I can always mule this, and I think I'm going to go with the catapult. I think the attack's going to be good, and the thinning is going to be good. I think we will get to deck control and get to an engine here. We've got all the engine components. We've got the villages. Plus buy is a little bit weak here. You got armory. Armory can gain pretty much, villages and encampments and stuff. We'll see how this goes. The idea is to hit them with cultists faster and harder, such that they have more runes, and then I can get deck control with catapults and get like an engine going. We've got some villages, probably use cultists, but maybe switch to encampments at some points. So this is 4. My next hand is we're going to state catapult and 3 coppers. I'm probably honestly going to, we'll see what they play here. I'm going to go ahead and get the pageant now. Does that make sense? I could also get a village green is a good card for my deck. I think I'm going to go with the village green already. I'm going to trigger a shuffle next turn, I think, and buy a silver. Feels a little bit early to get a village. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, so I got the Rune Market, which is actually pretty nice. Not at this stage, but by the end of the game, I'm probably going to be keeping that Rune Market for a very long time. I guess, and I should note, pouch is also plus buy. I didn't say that before. Was not paying quite close enough attention to heirlooms sometimes. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get the attack in the catapult. I feel like that attack will be strong enough to make it worthwhile. Okay. So I did add, I have a village green. I'm just thinking, make sure I have enough money. I don't want to trash all my coppers, not have enough money, but I think we're pretty far from that situation. I'm going to pick up an encampment for the speed and the village effect. It'll help me get through my deck faster. Get to play my cultist more, get to play my catapult more. And discard those. In the best case scenario, I find my village green when they have a catapult. It's pretty unlikely that it'll happen with only one village green in deck, but as we get thinner and I add more villages, that'll be good. Okay, so I can mule this necropolis and catapult the copper, get the attack in, and I've got 3. I can decide now if I want to go for another encampment, add like a silver to the deck. I think silver in this deck now is fine. I have 1 rune, 2 shelters I need to get rid of, 5 coppers, but I'm going to need to keep hitting 5 to get cultist. So I've talked myself into a silver over another encampment. Unfortunately, I'm going to trigger a shuffle here with this cultist, but not much that I can do about that. And I've got 4. The next hand is silver, catapult, a rune, Ruined Market. So I can either get the Pageant now or another Village Green. The Pageant is kind of nice if I have weird turns where I only have 3 or something and I want to buy encampments. I'll do that now. Seems worthwhile. We'll see if they have their catapult here. Ouch. So they were able to hit 5 and get that second cultist and give me a second rune already, which is bad, I think. That's what I'll say. They trashed the Overgrown Estate. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and trash a copper, attack them, and buy an encampment here for the draw. Oh, I can even mule this. Oh, so I can get 5 with the mule. So I will get another cultist then. In best case scenario, I get attacked here. That's nice. I'll discard the market. Village Green, play next turn. I'm going to go ahead and trash this copper. It gives me a chance to draw something else good, potentially get a bigger turn going. But all I was able to do is get to 4. So considering either the second encampment now or a second Village Green, they're ahead of me on catapults, which is problematic. The encampments just kind of get thrown away. But other than that, they haven't really added much to their deck other than catapult 3 cultists. I've added the Village Green. I think I like one more encampment to try to continue to spike 5. I expect to get hit with a couple more runes here. I am down in the rune split 3-2. Oh, they muled the car. I thought the survivors meant they didn't have any actions. Okay, they got me with 3 runes, so that gives me 6 runes. I'll be able to hit him with the last 2 here, so I'll lose that split 6-4, which is not terrible. Yeah, play that. So with 6 and copper, they bought their own Village Green. Okay, I'm going to get another cultist here for draw and a coffer. It's going to be the best source of draw for a while. At some point we can add in golds. This is a pretty ugly looking hand here. Although if I get catapult attacked, then I will be able to get a little bit more plus action out of it. All right, I'm going to start with Necropolis, Ruined Library, and then reassess. I think I'm just going to next turn this. Buy an encampment. Also buy another catapult. I think I will do that. So mule these 3. Next turn that, buy the catapult to start thinning. It does pay off as I drew my cultists here. Let's see if I can draw more of them. They are somewhat thinner than me, quite a bit thinner. I've trashed 1 more copper than they have at this point. Does it make sense to give up? It makes sense to give up just the 1 copper here. The logic there was I could potentially play the survivors, but I think I'm going to try to draw here. Play the Rune Library for draw. They bought a gold, which is a nice card. It lets them keep the encampments in the deck. I don't think I'm at the point where I can support a gold in my deck. I don't have enough deck control. Like, I'm not going to be able to find the gold and the encampments in the same hands unless you're using the gold for payload. So I think I'm just going to add more cultists and try to get more draw going, even though the cultists are obviously not nearly as good with all the runes being gone. We'll see if the gold makes a difference here. I assume this is going to be encampment for 2 and take the coffer. Cultists. Okay, so I can mule that. Trash a copper. I think now that I've added more cultists, I'm going to add a second village green to the deck and take a coffer back that I spent last turn. The pageant has me doing sort of weird buys. I'm buying, either spending a bunch of coffers to buy something or underspending, where normally the opposite is, feels like the opposite is the case. But I am going to need more villages in the deck. Okay, so they haven't hit villages and cultists in a bit, although they are able to get an attack in. I will play this now. I think I will just trash the survivors. It's a pretty bad card for the deck. And then think about what I want to do next. They've added 2 golds, so I've got to worry that they're going to be able to get into the encampments and be able to keep them pretty reliably. And I think I will get an encampment here. It comes with a coffer, and I'm going to try to get a gold next turn or so if I can. They really have had some unfortunate turns, I suppose. Guess I lead on the cultists, and I will trigger this shuffle. Okay, so do I want to play this encampment? I think so. It will let me get more money, potentially find a copper to trash instead of trashing one of the runes, or I could just trash the ruined Abandoned Mine. Abandoned Mine is strictly worse than Weight in the Mule, right? So I could apply this. This gives me 6 money. I'll have 6 money and be able to buy a gold. My next turn has a village green in it and a cultist, so that feels pretty good. I'm actually almost out of, I may actually be out of coppers to trash, which is a good thing. Potentially, depending on where the game goes, I can get a silver trash in, but probably not for a bit. I wonder if they have a ruined market in hand. I will trash the hovel, or give up the hovel and the village green, and play that next turn. Obviously, if they have a ruined market, they can buy double encampments, and they're going to be pretty happy about the state of their deck. If they didn't have a ruined market, okay. Oh, they have the pouch. It doesn't matter. I guess this is going to be double encampments. Makes the most sense to me. It does reveal the plunders for me, but having a 4-1 encampment split seems pretty nice. I always forget that the pouch is extra buy, which is not good because it's a pretty important factor of this kingdom. Okay, so they went village green crown. I am not quite understanding why they did that. And I may have forgotten last turn to play the encampment as a mule, which cost me a coffer. Interesting. So what do I have down there? I have village green, ruined market, necropolis. Pretty bad stuff down there. Okay. But I also have a gold, so I have 2/3. I have a 40% chance of finding the gold if I play this encampment, which doesn't seem great. Although, what else can I find? I can find the other market, which is not worth anything. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's worth much to draw here. So I'm not at the point of trashing my silver pouch, obviously, and I will trash one ruined market. I don't think I'm going to need more buy than this. So this is 7 and 2 buys. So this could be encampment gold, encampment cultist. Ideally, I can get the encampment stuff going and then always have a next turn village green coming into play. But given that I have 5 cultists and enough village support, I think I'm going to go encampment cultist. They may reveal encampment plunder next turn. Could have considered even playing this ruined market as plus buying and gone for double encampment cultist. Or I just go double encampment, reveal the plunders, and they get 2 plunders, and then I get 2 plunders, they get... not really sure. The crown also seems nice, especially with some of the actions, but it doesn't interact well with the cultist. It doesn't interact well, obviously, with the golds that you have. Another thing to watch out for is if I buy a cultist, the cultist pile is getting very low. And obviously the encampment plunder piles tend to run fairly quickly. So that's something to watch out for, obviously. If I buy an encampment cultist, the game could be over in 3 turns. I have to make sure I'm on the winning side of that. Which means I need more payload. I think I'm going to go different than what I thought and actually buy encampment gold here. The gold giving me much greater ability to buy provinces. The card I couldn't think of was Ruined Library, which potentially I have enough village support in my deck that the Ruined Library is going to be nice. At least nicer than any of the other runes. So 5. So they've still got 2 runes, maybe 1 copper left. Yeah. So discard those 2. Village green, play next turn. They found 1 gold and a pouch and a gold. Okay, so they have an encampment at the top, but not a gold. So they went with encampment plunder crown. Okay, that was quite nice to find the encampment at the top. I will play this for card and hopefully be able to draw here. That was not great. I have 2 cultists down there. And I could potentially just next turn this village green, which I think I'm going to do. Oh, my pouch is down there too for the plus buy. I can play the ruined market, so I can play Necro. Next turn, village green, catapult to catapult, play the market, buy like double plunder. I have 2 cultists down there, so my next turn is pretty likely to kick off with that coming into play. Next turn, I'll play that as the plus buy. And then I don't think I need 2 catapults anymore. The other thing I consider doing is catapult trash the silver, which gives me the discard attack. I think they didn't play 2 village greens last turn. I was pretty sure they didn't play 2 village greens last turn, which means they very likely have 1 hand. So the catapult attack is not great. And I'm almost out of cards to trash. Obviously, the ruined markets are probably, I want to get rid of them, but the ruined library I also want to get rid of, but there may not be time. And pick up 2 plunders here. Okay, I still feel like I'm somewhat behind, but I'm pretty happy with how that turn played out. Yep, so that's the village green that I knew they had. Yeah, so they didn't find a cultist or an encampment or a gold, then they couldn't play their encampments, but it looks like they're going to be able to draw fine. They had a couple of card search space. They had a 2-card search space, I think. I guess 3 with the village green to find it. They did have to use one of the crowns for draw, which is nice because that hurts their payload. And I assume they need to start greening here. They will have about plunder, 2 golds, and they crown a plunder or crown a gold. Gets them to 10. Silver is 12. Pouch is 13. Something like that. Plus coffers, if I'm counting right. They don't have a silver, so gold, gold, plunder, crown, pouch is like 12. Depending on exactly what they crown. The catapult as well can be used. They have a second catapult. I think they still have a shelter that they can catapult. Or they may be thinking about catapulting something to get the attack in. Yeah, Ruined Village is really bad. Of the village Ruined Village and Abandoned Mine are both strictly worse than Way of the Mule. Ruined Market and Ruined Library actually can help somewhat. And the plus buy is not nothing, and the plus card is pretty terrible, but has also been decent for me. It looks like they're going to crown the pouch. Yes, they had 12 money and treasures plus the 2 from catapult, which kind of goes away, but I guess they can get that next turn too, because the Necro and the Survivors can both go. So that's 14 and 3 buys. I'm not... Yeah, I guess they're not going to go double province. If you want to double province, then you just crown the plunder and go double province. Province plunder. Okay. I'm going to lead on the cultists, I think. I'm hoping to be able to save this village green for next turn. Play that. Okay, well, I didn't find the rest of my draw, so I'm going to draw on here. I've got to play the Ruined Library. Okay, so my last 2 cards are Plunder and Cultist. I really do want to play that second Plunder for the victory point, but let me count first. It's kind of nice to have a Plunder on top, not as nice to have a Cultist on top. So I can play Necro. I can Mule Encampment, play a Ruined Market, Catapult a Ruined Market, and play all treasures. So that'll give me 3, 4, 6, 8, 14, 15 money. I can potentially get my own Plunder province. No, that runs into a Cultist Pileout, so I've got to watch out for the Cultist Pileout next turn. I think I really do want to hit here, double province, and play both plunders. So I think I'm going to end up playing this encampment, sadly. Do I want to catapult a Ruined Market here? I don't think the plus buy is going to help me. There's not a pile out of a low cost pile. And 3 buys with the Ruined Market seems like it will be enough this turn. So I'm going to Mule a couple of these things. 2 buys may even be enough if I'm just going to buy double province. So I've got 10, 13, 14, 16 money. If I Mule a market and catapult a market, I can just buy 2 provinces. If they then buy 2 provinces next turn, I'm in trouble because I can't then buy 2 provinces, but I think they started greening first. So if they province and then double province, I don't come back from that anyways. So I think I will just double province here. Yeah. Doesn't feel great, but I feel like I need to take a VP lead. I may be at the point of hoping that they have a dud turn. Not really seeing a cleaner line for me than that one. It's not clear to me if either of our decks has a higher chance of dudding or not. I did not have a village green coming into play, so obviously I had a chance of drawing mostly cultists or drawing like encampments at the top of the shuffle without finding them. Obviously I look to be good. Looking at the trash, there are still 3 runes out there. Both have necropolises, which are not particularly good. I believe I have 2 of those runes I played in the rune library last turn. So that means they have at least 1 rune, a bunch of treasures. And as we start to add green cards, it becomes more likely. Obviously, if they like double province here, my plan is to province duchy back. Not sure if that's the greatest plan, but I don't really see something better. Maybe I'll decide to along the way double province if I feel like that's going to be a cleaner way. But the ability to crown plunders is quite nice for them. Okay, so they went single province, which leads me to believe that if I double, I can go province duchy here fairly safely. Play my encampments. I'll play the cultist first. Play the ruined library. Okay, I will need to play the village green to draw. Cultist. Okay, I'm not able to draw the curse, which is unfortunate. So the plan here is to go province duchy. And if they double province, then I need to go province duchy again. And I will trash my... I wonder if I can even trash the silver. And so if I trash the silver, I'm not really threatening to double province after this. And I seem to have run out of draw. Not sure if I just have an extra stop card than they do, or what. They have 1 extra encampment than I do, and 1 fewer cultist. Let's see, so I've got 10, 13 money in treasures. I can catapult something. If I catapult the silver, I would have 12 money, and I could play the rune market. I get up to 14 money. 13 money, I'd be able to go province duchy. That puts me at 22 VP. They're going to be at 15. They can probably trash that, so I'll say they're at 16. So at 22 VP, if they double, they're at 28, so I could win. If they single, I don't really have a way to double myself after I trash the silver, I think. So, is there a point when I need to triple duchy? Would be I need to save this rune market if I need to triple duchy for some reason. In that case, I just mule everything and buy province duchy here and look to trash. I could also trash the pouch for an extra. Well, no, that doesn't give the attack though, but it gives the discard attack, but not the curse attack. So the question is if I need to save to double next turn. Well, I have 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 money this turn, so I can't really get away with that. So I think I'm just going to. I think the question is, do I trash this ruined market? Do I need the 3rd buy to try to buy like triple duchy? I don't think my deck can really support triple duchy. So the only question is if it's worth the coffer this turn. 4, 8, 14, 15. I think it's probably worth it. I don't think I'm in a position where I have a better solution to the problems I have. It possibly doesn't matter now that I've seen this draw, as this draw looks pretty bad. Of course, there's a decent chance that they will have a bad draw this turn or the next, but their deck feels a little bit stronger than mine. The ability to crown Village Green or crown Encampment, but really it's just a question of if you can find Encampment. Village Green at the top of your shuffle. So given 2 Village Greens and 4 yellow cards for encampments, there's a pretty decent chance you find them both. I was hoping that the long pause there indicated that they had a dud and were thinking it out. And maybe that's still the case. It could also just meant that they were getting a glass of water in between turns, given that I took so long. But it could have meant they were thinking about, all they have is the Village Green, so maybe they next turn it to guarantee a good turn next turn. But it looks like they're going to have a turn here. I'm slightly confused by these long pauses between plays. Like there was a pause between the cultist and a pause before the encampment. I assume they're just thinking it out, but I'm clicking much faster, I think, in my turns. That's just the way I play. The other thing they could be thinking, and maybe they're thinking, yeah, if they want when they want a crown. Okay, that makes sense to me. So yeah, crown is essentially another encampment, so that effectively gives them quite a bit more draw than I have. That was what I was not considering. Maybe my 4th cultist should have been a crown. I can certainly believe that. It looks like they'll be able to next turn this Village Green here. And I'm pretty much toast. Unfortunately, they have a long think ahead of them if they assume I get a best possible turn. Like Province Duchy is pretty easy for me to do. I did trash the Ruined Market, right? So I can't actually do Province Duchy Estate, which is worth noting. But they're getting extra VP from crowning Plunder. So, or crowning Pouch and getting like Triple Duchy here. Next turning a Village Green. I think that's the safest thing for them to do, Triple Duchy. Yeah, if they get double Province and 3 VP, that puts them at 31, which is really easy for me to beat. If they get single Province, double Duchy, 2 VP, that's 14. That puts them at 30, which is also really easy for them to beat. So I think they just go Triple Duchy here. And what is that, 2 VP? And then if I can double Province, they have to go Province, double Duchy. So I feel like I maybe put myself in an okay position to win with that last line. Obviously, they don't know that I have a dud turn coming up, as I've not been able to next turn my Village Greens because I need them to draw during the turn. Yeah, so if they Triple Duchy, if I had a good turn and it was able to double Province and get 2 VP, that would put me at 38. And so triple Province and 2 VP from them this turn puts them at 25. So they would need to go Province, double Duchy, 2 VP next turn, which I think is possible given their 5 coffers. It doesn't actually seem that difficult given, and they might even get an extra coffer this turn with the Triple Duchy line. But I may also be Yeah, they may not be able to get an extra coffer this turn, but with 5 coffers, it certainly seems possible. Wow, what was... I wonder if the Village Green was the very last card of the deck, or it was a gold. I guess a gold, a crown, or a plunder are all cards that would be willing to play a cultist to get to. I think if it was a Village Green, you'd just leave it there and be happy to, you know, you're not next turning it, but you don't really need more than one terminal action in this deck. Hopefully the rest of the games in this match are going to be faster, as we've been going for quite a while at this point, almost like 35 minutes. Yes, they're about to be very happy. I had some things I could think about, but I'm pretty much just gonna always take a duchy here and see what happens. I've been thinking about it for long enough, and I can't really think of anything better to do. Now they have a lot more options. Double Province is very, very safe for them. And if they double Province, I will probably resign. They have at this point not a similar number of stop cards in their deck, I think, especially after adding all 3 duchies. But the next turn Village Green is quite nice for avoiding that because the cultists are no longer stop cards, I guess. There are, with encampments, sometimes you get unlucky shuffle distributions where all of your golds and plunders are in a different part of the deck than the encampments. But I think with the cultists and the crowns, they're going to be good with that. I actually look like, for my starting 5 cards, like I'm going to probably dud next turn as well. Although I have 3 cultists, 2 encampments down there. They didn't. Oh, they used both crowns for draw. All right. Well, let me quickly just kind of click through here and play out the turn. So I can get like double duchy here, trash a silver, give them a curse, make them discard. You know, if they were close to having a dud turn. There are some awkward draws they could have too. I don't even have plus buy, so yeah, I bottom decked both of my encampments, which did not make that a good shuffle. Obviously, I was behind anyways. I think with best possible shuffles, I think I could have recovered. They should have a pretty easy finding 8 here. Looks like they've got it in hand. All right, good game, Singletee. I will see you all in game 2.